I ain't playing with you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You a walking trophy. Girl, you a walking trophy. You a walking trophy. My girl, you a walking trophy. Yeah, your friends, them a walking trophy. Tell a girl say,
Hey guys, it's Natty-B and Zee. So it is Let's Talk Saturday, and we have some interesting topics to discuss. So do you want to bring us into the first one?
Sure. So the question of today is a woman as the
A woman as the head of household. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So do you want to start first?
Well, recently, Natty ran across a statistic that stated in 80% of Black households that the woman is the head of household. And we were really surprised by that. I'm like, 80% is a high number. So, honestly, for me, if I'm going to be truthfully, I would say I am kind of old school and I'm not opposed to making more, but I kind of would like my man to make a little more than me. It's just, it's an ego thing, I guess.
It's definitely an ego thing. I think the thoughts that come to my mind is I don't think there's anything wrong with the woman making more than the man or the wife making more than the husband. I think that after a while, what could possibly happen is that the wife will become resentful if she is the bearer of all financial things in the house. Even when it's vice versa, I still think the man would start to feel some type of way if he's paying for absolutely everything. So there, it could vary. If she's making more, but he's still carrying some weight, it may not matter and you may not feel it. But if she's making everything and he's kind of like, oh, she's got it, I can just chill. I'd have an issue with that.
And then, it depends on culture because there are some guys who would prefer to take care of all of the financial responsibility and they would like the women to take care of the house. And then you have those men that are like, nah, we're doing this together.
Which I think is okay.
Yeah, it's okay as long as that's what you guys agree on and it works for you. But also, I do think me and Natty were discussing why that might be. So it's like a new age of independency for women. Women are definitely more in the workforce than they ever were before in history. So we just wonder if that plays a role in it. I'm sure it does.
Do you think that if a woman makes more than the man, she has to now have control over where the money is spent?
A man would feel that way. So I'm not going to say I don't know. This is hard. This is hard. But I know that most men would say they wouldn't mind if their woman made more money with more than them, but they don't want the woman to feel like now she's more powerful, I guess, or now she's kind of like.
For me, I don't care who's making more money. No one person in a partnership has a say. I think it's both decisions. So that's one thing, especially when you get married, it really does change when except for your own personal money that you have over here, whatever is spent, you literally have a discussion about it. If you don't, it builds resentment. And that's, the number one driver for divorce is the financial, So I think
it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal. Conversations need to be had. No one person, if it is a partnership, should have sole say on what's being spent. There might be some instances here and there, but I do think, like the statistic says, 80% of Black households, women are basically the ones who drive the home. I kind of think that's disappointing. Why 80%? That's a large percentage. What is happening that 80% of Black households, it's the woman? Is it because we are in the workforce more? Is it because, and I don't know if many of you guys know, but the fastest growing pattern and trend that we're seeing is Black women in multiple degrees. Is it because of that reason? Is it because men are lackadaisical.
I wonder too if maybe in other races, cultures, ethnicities that they're still a bit more traditional with the household, like, Hispanic households, Caucasian households, Asian households. I feel like a lot of time, maybe the women are still, the family structure is still more traditional. And then in the Black community, it's evolving more rapidly. And women are definitely working more. So maybe that's why it's more of a Black household thing.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's statistics for other racial and ethnic groups, and I'm sure that in every racial and ethnic group, the incline of women making more money than men has increased. Period. Yeah. But we just happen to have the one on the Black community in 80%. I was like, damn, 80%. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's very.
I would want, preferably, I would like and appreciate if my man made just as much as I did. Yeah. Or if I had to choose, actually making a little bit more, because then it's also a motivating factor for me to want to strive and make even more or do more so that I can match him and support as well and be helpful, and all of that.
I think I'm definitely the same way. I like being able to match my man, and so it is motivating for me as well. I keep wanting to say something and I forget it every time. So one thing you're going to say was like, so if your man is making a little less than you, maybe you just happen to have the better job, right? Would you expect your man to go out and pick up something else just so he can match you? Do you feel like he needs to like bust his ASS to match you, or is it really not that serious? If he has a good job and it's just so happens he's making less. Yeah, I would personally say I'm not gonna expect my man to go out and get 3 jobs just because I might be making more money than him. Even though it's my preference that we make the same or he makes a little more. If he doesn't, and he's working hard, it's a job that he loves, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna be ridiculous and say you need to go get a side job just to match me.
And that's why it's also so important to have that dialogue and have that conversation with your partner, because I think it's different when you are just getting to know someone. It's different when you're dating and when you decide to jump the broom and get married, because that can be okay when you're not living together.
Oh, good point.
Okay. Yeah. And then when you're living together, your bills change because you're collaborating, you're bringing everything together, and it changes and your bills don't look the same. So it may have been okay.
They double.
Yes, it may have been okay and it may have worked, and maybe it even still is okay when you guys come together, but now it just feels different because there's more stressors.
That's true.
And now it went from, yes, it was okay, to it's still okay, but it's not working. That's not helpful. Yeah. What else can you bring? So that was our question. We would love to know what you guys think.
Yes.
Comment down below. Again, is a woman being the head of the household financially, is that okay?
Remember to go over to our YouTube channel, Natty-B and Zee, to continue the conversation. And as always, thank you for tuning in.
Yes. Like, comment below, and subscribe.